Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. I like this one. Today is National Vanilla Ice Cream Day. And yes, of course, you can't beat anorexia without ice cream. And yes, I have beaten anorexia, so we've got the ice cream going. It's flowing. Can we throw a little bit of caramel on top of that? And of course, you gotta have the whipped cream. You can't do it without whipped cream. It's gotta have the whipped cream. Let's see what else we are celebrating today. National Refreshment Day. I wonder why they put a bunch of beers on there for that one. National Lemon Day. You know, I drink a lot of warm water, especially when you're doing radio. Warm water, and you throw I take it and we freeze an old-fashioned ice cube tray, and we fill it with just plain old the juice of lemons. Throw that into the warm water, and nice and refreshed. Good for the voice when you're doing radio. So it is National Lemon Day as well. Let's see what do we want to see what the markets are doing today? I don't think so. So we've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 520 points. The NASDAQ is down 590 points. S&P 500 is down 98 points.
Ow!
Oil up $5.45 a barrel.
Ow!
And gold, I would have thought the opposite, but gold is down $82 an ounce right now. $4,048 an ounce. Going the wrong way on that gold. 10-year Treasury is up about 4 basis points, 4.7. And the mortgage bond is down 30 basis points. Bond down, rates up. It's just the math. And we're watching all of that for you. So what does that mean for you? Well, I'm going to suggest that something I've told you over and over again. It's been a theme song for Ron Siegel Radio. I have so many people that actually say to me now, especially some of the CPAs that I work with, they say, Ron, what is this all about? This strategy beats rate always. And I said, think about it. It's just plain is what it is, right? And you can't go any further.
It is what it is.
Strategy beats rate. Now, if you're sitting with a 3.5% or 4% mortgage, does it really matter if you're sitting with tens of thousands of dollars of credit card debt at an average of 22.84%? No. Does it matter if you're sitting with a bunch of unsecured debt, if you're sitting a bunch of student loan debt, auto loans? What we want to do in the strategy is to look at your cash flow, because the cash flow is what makes the whole thing work. So yes, you can go and take a look, and we've put this together for you. rsrlinks.com/DDD. Debt done date. Debt done date. And you can go over there and you can take a look at that, because what's important is not the exact amounts, the interest rates. It's how do you get where you want to go? Because I challenge you. If you want to take your family out to a nice dinner, if you want to go on vacation, have you ever had any one of those places ask you, what's your interest rate? You're going to get it wrong anyway. In most cases, I said it. Yes, most of you will get it wrong, because you're going to throw out one interest rate that you think is the rate that matters. Generally, the mortgage rate. It's your household blended interest rate that matters. How much does everything cost you when you blend it? It's weighted and blended. So when you go to the debt done date analysis, we're actually looking right there to figure out, okay, what is the blended rate? What is the cash flow situation? Now, why do I keep saying cash flow? Because in many instances, I see what happens. If you understand how amortization works, you'll understand that when you do a 30-year fixed rate home loan, it takes 22 years to pay half of it. Now you say, Ron, it's a 30-year loan. If I pay it for 15 years, that should be half. No, the amortization, the interest is front-loaded. How do we change that? We're using the cash flow to make the change. So when we go to the debt done date simulator, we're going to look at that and we're going to say, okay, we can restructure all of your debt. And I don't know, maybe it's a 6.5%, 7.5% interest rate. I don't know what your numbers are. I'm not giving you a quote right here. I'm just educating you. But I've seen it where we can save $1,800, $2,000 in cash flow. Now, what do we do with that money? We take that money and apply it to the principal of the new home loan. When you're applying it to the principal of the new home loan, you're flipping that amortization table on its head, so to speak. And now what we're doing is we're saying, if we take and start applying $1,500, $2,000 to the principal, where we were only applying, $20, $30, $40 to the principal in the early years, we're going to take our effective interest rate and maybe we'll cut it in half, maybe even more than half. So the bottom line there is we have to have the correct strategy. And that's why I always will tell you that strategy beats rate always, because we're looking at it, we're looking at the tables, we're looking at the math, and it's just simple math. The problem is, and I've been going through this with family members lately, nobody's teaching this stuff anymore. If you're not listening to Ron Siegel Radio, you're not hearing this from anybody. You don't hear it from the other national commentators. They just say debt snowball, debt avalanche, pay off everything, no debt, no debt, no debt. Well, there's some debts that are good debts. And we want you to work toward that. We're working on a new book. My newest book that I'm working on is going to basically be able to show you how to retire in 20 years using debt. Not earning any more money, not saving any more money, but using debt strategically. And we're going to have that out. Hopefully in the next 4 or 5 months, we'll have that out. So you need to be listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and financial markets. When we come back, a family of 4 can spend $200 at the Orange County Fair in one afternoon without trying. Your employer switched you to 1099. The bank said wait 2 years. We're going to show you how you can buy right now. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by rsrloans.com, rsrloans.com. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most thoughts about the market. We put out a report for you on Fridays, the weekend update, rsrlinks.com/WUC, rsrlinks.com/WUC. Let's see what the markets are doing today. Do we want to see what the markets are doing today? S&P 500 is now down 88 points. 10-year Treasury is up 3.5 basis points, 4.7. And the mortgage bond now down 30 basis points. Remember, bond down, rates up. It is simply mathematics. You don't need any other thing else to understand that. It's just plain old math. That's how we get it. So what's driving all of this right now? That's the question. That's what you come to Ron Siegel Radio for, is to see what's driving the numbers. And it all has to do what's going on in the Middle East. So we are watching that for you. Oil prices are surging higher. We're looking at WTI $92 and a penny a barrel, up $5.18 a barrel of oil, reaching the highest level since early June. The spike is in response to reports of Houthi attacks on tankers off the coast of Saudi Arabia and the U.S. renewed threats to escalate strikes against Iran. As mentioned yesterday, there are oil disruptions on several fronts now. The Strait of Hormuz, Red Sea, and the Caspian Sea, causing oil prices to rise and renewed inflation fears. President Trump posted on Truth Social, stating that if the Houthis strike another ship, he'll hold Iran responsible and escalate strikes even further. Unfortunately, mortgage bonds are moving lower, and the 10-year is at the highest level since January of 2025. In the labor market, it's been giving some mixed signals. Months ago, job creations were very weak, but in the past few months, they have shown some signs of recovery. The latest BLS jobs report and ADP weekly figures, however, have shown some new weakness on the hiring front. Layoffs, on the other hand, have remained very low for a long time. Initial jobless claims, which measures an individual's first time filing for unemployment benefits, have been incredibly stable and very low, around 215,000 for the last several years, pointing to low fire environment. In today's report, which is for the last week, initial jobless claims fell to 187,000, which is another leg lower and the lowest leg since 1969. While claims have been very low, this figure is not exactly what it seems, as there has been a big crackdown in fraudulent unemployment claims. Yeah. Labor Secretary Keith Sonderling sent formal letters to the governors of all U.S. states and territories demanding immediate action against unemployment insurance fraud, waste, and abuse late June. This is in response to all of the fraud that happened after COVID, but is still going on today. Sonderling directed states to fully verify identity and eligibility before distributing funds. As a result, initial claims are being delayed or canceled altogether, contributing to the significant drop in the figures we're seeing now. Bottom line, initial claims have been very low and stable, but the drop we are seeing now is likely due to the clampdown on fraud, not even less firings. Continuing claims, or those who continue to stay on benefits after their initial claim, remain relatively stable at 1.8 million. Cotality released their homeowner equity insights for the first quarter of 2026, showing that home equity for those with a mortgage has already reached $18 trillion. Total home equity for all owned homes is roughly $34 trillion. Most American homeowners have a very comfortable home equity cushion across 56.7 million owned mortgage properties. The average borrower has $311,000 in home equity. Remember, we offset that in California because our numbers are probably a bit higher than that because our home values are so much higher. Mortgage properties with negative equity now stands at only 1.9%, or a little over 1 million homes. For perspective, this peaked at 26% in the fourth quarter of 2009 and shows the magic of home price appreciation and amortization. We know that it's a difficult time currently with oil prices and mortgage rates rising. Rate and term refinance is significantly slowing, but we got to look and help people and help you with all of the different numbers. And we are putting out a report. It'll be coming out today. Watch our social channels dealing with home equity. We're going to have that coming out for you today. So watch all of our socials, and we've got a book on that, an ebook. Obviously, don't ask. Obviously, it is free, as is most of the stuff we give away on Ron Siegel Radio. Have you ever noticed that we just don't charge for things on Ron Siegel Radio? We don't, we're here to try and help people. If we can help you with a home loan, that's great. If you can refer us to your friends, family, coworkers, that's what drives the program. And obviously, we want you to subscribe and hit the like button and all those other good things. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, a family of 4 can spend $200 at the Orange County Fair in one afternoon without trying. Your employer scheduled your employer switched you to 1099. The bank said, wait 2 years. The Siegel lending team says, strategy, we've got a program for you. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Mortgage 101 today being brought to you by rsrloans.com, rsrloans.com. Imagine this. You have the same job, the same desk or the same badge, the same schedule, the same paycheck you had last year, but when you apply for a mortgage, the bank suddenly acts like it has never met you. That's exactly what's happening to thousands of workers right now. And today I'm going to tell you why and what to do about it. I am Ron Siegel, Certified Liability Advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Here's what's going on. Employers across the country are moving their people from W-2 employees to 1099 independent contractors. We see it everywhere right now. IT professionals, sales reps, drivers, consultants, and nowhere more than in medicine, where hospitals, medical groups, and staffing providers are converting nurses, imaging techs, therapists, nurse practitioners, even physicians. Same work, same hours, often more money, because the employer is no longer paying for benefits and payroll taxes. Now, that switch changes your taxes, your benefits, and your retirement planning. But here's the part almost nobody warns you about. It also changes how a mortgage lender sees you. The day your employer moves you to 1099, in the eyes of a traditional lender, you stopped being an employee and became a brand new business. And banks do not like brand new businesses. So why does that matter? A conventional loan wants to see 2 years of self-employed tax returns. 2 years. So picture a nurse who has worked the same cardiac unit for 11 years. In March, the hospital converts her to 1099. In June, she finds the perfect house. She walks into her bank, the same bank that has held her checking account for a decade, and they tell her, come back in 2 years. 11 years of experience, higher income than she had made last year, and the answer is no. Not because she can't afford the house, because her paperwork changed categories. This is the difference between eligibility and suitability, and it is the heart of what a certified liability advisor does. The bank asks one question: does this person fit our box? The better question is, does this loan make sense for this person? A nurse with 11 years in the same field, a bigger paycheck than ever, is absolutely suitable. She just is not eligible under the old rules. So we change the rules we play by. Enter the 1099 loan. Here's how it works. And I promise to keep the math simple. Instead of tax returns, the lender qualifies using your actual 1099 forms. The forms your employer or staffing agency already send you every January. The lender takes your gross 1099 income and applies a small expense factor, usually around 10%, to account for the cost of being a contractor. So if your 1099 show $160,000, the lender counts roughly $144,000 as qualifying income. No tax returns, no profit and loss statements, no explaining every write-off your CPA found for you. And that matters because the same write-offs that save you money in April are the ones that shrink your income on paper when a traditional lender reads your tax return. Now, here's the part that matters most if this just happened to you. Those programs typically want 1 to 2 years of 1099 income. But when you moved from W-2 to 1099 doing the same job in the same field, that prior W-2 history counts in your favor. Lenders on these programs are looking for continuity, not a long history of running a business. A nurse who has a W-2 for 11 years and a 1099 for 1 is a very different story than someone who started freelancing last spring. The same goes for the IT contractor, the sales rep, the driver. Your track record did not disappear. We just have to put it in front of a lender who knows how to read it. So what does this mean for you? If your employer has moved you or is about to move you to 1099, do not assume you're locked out of buying a home. And please do not accept the first no from a bank that only has one box to put you in. Let me give you the honest fine print because you deserve the full picture, not a commercial. Expect a real down payment, usually somewhere in the 10 to 20% range. Expect the lender to want decent credit, generally in the mid 600s or better. Expect them to want a few months of payments in reserve. And yes, the rate on a 1099 loan usually runs just a little bit higher than a conventional loan. And here's where I will say the thing I always say. Strategy beats rate always. Strategy beats rate always. A slightly higher rate on a home you can buy today beats the perfect rate on a loan you cannot get for 2 more years. And here's the strategy part. Many of my clients use the 1099 loan as a bridge. Buy the home now, and once your tax returns catch up with your new life, we look at refinancing into a conventional new loan. You do not marry the rate, you marry the house. And yes, we do monitor the home for you. rsrlinks.com/myhome. rsrlinks.com/myhome, where we go there and we're constantly taking a look at what is the value of your property. We send you a valuation once a month. That's cool. But every week we're going to send you things to do in your area and discounts on the things that you're already using. One more thing, in this market, sellers are nervous about buyers with complicated income. That's exactly why we created the Certified Buyer Program. Before you ever write an offer, we fully verify your income, your credit, and your funds, so your offer lands on the seller's desk looking as solid as a cash buyer. For a 1099 professional, that certification is the difference between a seller hesitating and a seller signing. So here's the next step. Go to rsrlinks.com/certified buyer. rsrlinks.com/certified buyer. And you'll see how the Certified Buyer Program works and how to get certified before you fall in love with a house. Your employer changed your tax form. It did not change your ability to own a home. I am Ron Siegel, your Certified Liability Advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to Mortgage 101, brought to you by rsrloans.com, rsrloans.com. Let's see. I think we've got it. Your Credit Matters segment today. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. A family of 4 can walk through the gate on a Saturday afternoon and walk back out $200 lighter without buying one single thing they plan to buy. I am Ron Siegel, Certified Liability Advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. The Orange County Fair is running right now in Costa Mesa, July 17 through August 16. And I want to talk about it because the fair is the best money lesson I know that does not involve a single loan document. Let me lay out the numbers. And one quick note first. I am not advertising for the Orange County Fair, and I do not set their prices. They can change, so confirm current pricing at ocfair.com before you go. Weekend admission, $18 a person. Parking, $15. Food items commonly run $9 and up, and plenty of them run $15 or more. Rides eat through a ticket book faster than anybody expects. 4 people, one afternoon, $200 gone. And here's the part that matters. Nobody decided to spend $200. It just happened. $9 and $15 at a time. So what does this mean for you? It means the fair is not overcharging anybody. The fair is just waiting for you to show up without a plan. And that is exactly how most households money leaks. Let me give you the biggest one, because this is the mistake I see families make with a Carnival wristband and with a mortgage. The Unlimited Ride Pass, the Carnival Dream Pass, runs about $51 for 10 rides or games. Wednesdays and Thursdays, an Unlimited Carnival wristband runs $55. A wristband feels safe. It feels like you're covered. No decisions, no counting, no telling your kid no at the front of the line. But run the math. Ride tickets sell in packs. 16 tickets for $20, 40 tickets for $50, 80 tickets for $100. If your family is realistically riding fewer than 8 to 10 times, the a la carte pack comes out cheaper. Most families ride about 5 times and then go look at the pig. So people buy the unlimited option, not because the math works. They buy it because it feels safer than doing the math. Now tell me that is not exactly what happens with a mortgage. A family looks at a home right around $1 million, which in Orange County means a loan, $660,000 range. They pick the loan that feels safest or the one with a number they heard on the radio, and they never run the actual math on what the liability costs them across 30 years next to the alternatives. Same behavior, bigger decimal point. Strategy beats rate always, and at the fair, strategy beats the wristband. So here are the moves that actually work. I'm going to give you 5. Number 1, go on a Wednesday or a Thursday. General admission is $13 those days versus $18 on Friday through Sunday. Same fare, same corn dog. You just picked a different square on the calendar. And if you buy Smart Start admission ahead of time, that is $11 for entry between 11 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon on those weekdays. Number 2, Buy ahead of the deadlines. Family bundles had a May 31st cutoff. Sorry, missed it. Ride passes and Smart Start priced up after July 16th. Fair pricing rewards the person who planned in the spring and charges the person who decided in the car. Number 3, do the ride math before you buy the pass. I already walked you through it. Count your actual rides, not your optimistic rides. Number 4, if a concert interests you, buy the concert ticket instead of buying admission separately. Tickets at Pacific Amphitheater, the Hangar, and Action Sports Arena include same-day fair admission. So a $35 concert ticket is really a $17 concert once you subtract the $18 you're going to pay to get at the gate anyway. Number 5, eat before you go. Treat fair food as a snack budget, not a dinner budget. Then hit the $5 taste of the fair vendors early because dozens of them offer specific items for $5 each, and the good ones sell out by the evening. Pick up the vendor map at guest services when you walk in. A few more that cost you nothing. Kids at 5 and under are free every day. Youth 6 through 12 and seniors 60 and up pay a flat $9 any day of the week. Carpool and split the $15 parking instead of arriving in 3 cars. Bring an empty refillable water bottle and check the current container policy at ocfair.com before you go, because that rule can change year to year. And once you're inside, a lot of the best stuff is already paid for. The livestock barns, the fine arts gallery, the competitive exhibit halls, the giant produce, free daytime bands at the Hangar, live music at Baja Bar and Grill, the Plaza Stage, monster trucks, and demolition derbies at Action Sports Arena are included in regular admission. Most first-time visitors walk right past all of it on the way to spend $51 on a ride pass. So what does this mean for you? Here's the real lesson. And it has almost nothing to do with the fare. Every one of those tips is the same move. Separate your fixed costs from your variable costs. Admission and parking are fixed. You pay them once whether you stay 2 hours or 9. Food, rides, and games are variable. They scale with how long you stay and how much attention you're paying, which means the single best value move at the fair is stay all day. You spread the fixed cost across more hours, and your effective cost per hour drops. Now apply that to your house. Your mortgage payment is a fixed cost. Your interest is a variable cost that scales with balance and time. Most families obsess over the fixed number on the statement and never look at the variable number that is quietly doing the damage. That's why I care more about your household blended interest rate than any single loan rate. Add up every debt you carry, the mortgage, the cars, the cards, the student loans. That blended number is your real cost of money. It is the household version of walking out of the fair and adding up the receipt instead of remembering the ticket price. Most families have never seen that number, not because they're careless, because nobody ever showed them where to look. So set your number before you leave the house. That works for the fair and it works for a home purchase. Decide the total first. Admission, parking, food, rides. Then decide as a family what gets cut if you are running close to the line. A budget you set at the kitchen table is a plan. A budget you set at the funnel cake stand is a regret. And for the biggest numbers in your life, your debts, we have a free tool that runs that exact play. It's called the Debt Done Date. Feed in every debt you carry, and it runs your whole picture through 82 different types of analysis. The snowball, the avalanche, refinancing, combinations you never think of to test on your own. Then it hands you one thing someday never comes with, a date. The day you are debt-free. Go to rsrlinks.com/DDD, rsrlinks.com/DDD. Get your numbers on paper before your summer gets away from you. And if you want to sit down with me for 15 minutes on a Zoom and walk through your actual situation, go to bookrs15.com, bookrs15.com. Go to the fair, ride the rides, eat the thing you only eat once a year. Just decide what it costs before you get in line. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.